Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Gapester, here from Gape Studios with another interview tonight. Tonight we got Dante Dotson here.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so this is the guy that he made the Everything Wrong Godzilla Final Wars video, which I did watch that yesterday. That was pretty funny. When it was with that one scene where you were talking about where that guy stabs that guy with the knife thing. Like, how you just gonna go up to someone and just stab him like that? That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, dude, you cannot just walk up on somebody and just stab them like that and just not expect to get arrested. That was just too funny.
I know. And also after that, there was that one scene where that guy says, "It's X. My name's X." And you're like, "Who cares?"
Yes, oh my God, he was just dragging that name on. It's like, okay, we get it, dude. Like, you just see in his face, expressions right there.
Nice. Oh wow, we already have a view. Welcome, Titanic Gojira. So how's your night, Dante?
It's pretty chill so far. Just actually getting started here. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I just ate some pizza earlier. Now I'm about to start this. So here we go. So what was that? Nothing. Never mind that. What was your first ever Godzilla movie?
My very first one was definitely Son of Godzilla. I was around like maybe 3 or 4 years old when that came out. Or when it was like
Oh,
out on TV. Yeah.
you just watched TV and it randomly popped up and you liked it?
Yeah, no, my dad, because since that came out in the 1960s, nah, so since that was like, I guess, just popping on television and, around the time that I'm a kid, because I was like a toddler. So, yeah, it was like, I guess, popular on TV like that. And yeah, he just put it on for me and I just got interested in it. And I got curious and then I just started getting too invested with it. I said, I want more. And then like, yeah, ever since then, I ended up seeing randomly more Godzilla movies. My grandma ended up being next in the line, putting me on to like Godzilla versus Megalon, and then Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the 1974 film. And yeah, and then after that, I just went off the chain, just discovering more Godzilla movies as I got older.
Ah, nice, nice. We got some more people in here. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome back, Titaners, and welcome, Shadow. Yes, hey, yeah, it is Dante. Actually, it's pronounced Dante, I think. Hey, Geepster. Hey,
Yes,
Michelle.
yes,
Welcome,
Dante Dotson. Yeah.
welcome, friend Flame. I think that's one of your viewers, or maybe one of mine that I never met before. But anyways, so what is your favorite show film of the Godzilla franchise?
I'd probably definitely say Ghidorah, the three-headed monster.
Ah, how do you like that movie?
Why? Because you see, pretty much you have all the main OG kaiju's right there. You got Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra, and just seeing those three teaming up against King Ghidorah, it's like one of the best things you can like ever just dream of in a monster movie.
That's nice, man. Let's see, this 1954 kind of show. Yeah, it does kind of show Shadow. Talk about King Kong. We'll get into King Kong later, friend. We'll get to that soon. Let's see. What is your favorite Heisei Godzilla film?
The Return of Godzilla and Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Oh, why do you like Return of Godzilla?
Kind of like how it was with Shin Godzilla. Kind of gives off, those horror kind of vibes. Just based off the soundtrack. Like, it's not the most exciting kind of music. It's really like more sinister and dark, and kind of like gives you like more of those like creepy kind of vibes. And that's what I like too, because when you see Godzilla going on a rampage, people are like, actually in fear. They're not like, oh, okay, this is Godzilla. Like, no, they're actually terrified. And I just liked how it was throughout the whole movie, and then especially the part where, went from being all dramatic and intense to like having a emotional ending. I thought it was a nice way to top it off at the end like that.
Ah, that's nice, nice. And Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
Godzilla versus Destroyer, just because like yes, when you have that opening scene, you get burned Burning Godzilla, and that design itself, it really threw me off guard. I was like, "Whoa, who is this?" And then once I got the name, I was like, "Okay, Burning Godzilla. That sounds pretty cool." And then Destroy as a villain. I actually did like him a little bit more over King Ghidorah because after a while, you're so used to like Godzilla and King Ghidorah fighting, but another strong enemy like Destroya, I thought was really entertaining to like see how he killed off Godzilla Jr. by dropping him off from the sky and all that stuff, and making Godzilla get all emotional with that, and then having vengeance at the end, and just the ending itself too. I really liked how they really justified Godzilla Jr. They made you not entirely forget about him like that, and that's what I liked about it the most. They didn't. They made you invested with at least Godzilla and Godzilla Jr. over Destroya. While Destroya is like just the asshole that just destroys everything. It's part of his name.
Hmm, that makes sense. That's nice. Let's see. Michelle says, "Wait, do you remember Justin?" Yes, I know. I remember you. You're Justin. Welcome, Rodan. Five more slaps for the movie. Yeah, he does. Welcome. Let's see. Welcome, Godzilla fan 2020. What about the American Godzilla? We'll get to that later, Friend Flame. Rec Room's one of my favorite songs. Yep, that is a pretty good song. Yep, it is a pretty good movie, Rodan. Let's see. Favorite Millennium Godzilla film?
Millennium, Godzilla 2000, and Godzilla GMK, and then Godzilla Final Wars. Those three.
Oh, why do you like Godzilla 2000?
Godzilla 2000, just because of that refreshing opening scene. I like the part. I just like the intro. Just like guys running outside in the middle of the rain and it's dark, and then he just sees a figure. Next thing you know, bam! It's Godzilla. And mainly, it was just the whole entire beginning part of the movie. I just liked how they started off with Godzilla. You're not stuck with humans immediately. You get a little bit of the human characters off the bat, so you like kind of know who you're dealing with. But then, once you get the idea of who you're stuck with, you end up having Godzilla 2000 to like see what kind of Godzilla people are going to be dealing with this time around after so many years. And the fact that he had a different colored atomic breath, I believe it was orange. I actually thought was pretty cool. And the dorsal fins being purple, and the whole overall design for the Millennium Godzilla in that movie was pretty dope too.
Ah, yeah, those purple spines are pretty good. I think that's yeah. They did use that suit again in Godzilla vs Mechagodzilla, which that confused me when I was younger because I thought it was a sequel. Then I learned it was not a sequel. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I thought so too. And I was like, okay, I forgot. This is the only era that does like a reboot after reboot after reboot. So it's kind of like that.
Well, unless you don't include the Kiryu saga, then that's pretty much the case.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree. Like basically, yeah, it was called the Kiryu Saga because those were like the only movies that were like a direct sequel between one another. But yeah, pretty much every other film outside of that, though, it was kind of bothering me from time to time. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to get used to it, but just repeating the same kind of 1954 scenario kind of got old. I was like, okay, I want something, a little bit more different. Like we get the idea, okay, he's been around since 54, but like what more is there than just him just showing up back in 54 and all that stuff. So I kind of like the twist that they did, when it came more towards GMK, and definitely with Final Wars as well.
Ah, yes, definitely. Hey, there was actually a Final Wars design that actually made JC Entertainment cry. Do you want to see that picture?
Sure.
I'll send it on Instagram while I'm reading through these comments. Hello, Alex Goodgie. Welcome to the stream. Shadow asks Dante, what happened to your stop motion? I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know what stop motion? Shadow asked you what happened to your stop motion.
Oh, yes, my stop motion. So I just had to just put that on hold just because I had a lot to figure out, and also just had a lot just going on in my personal life, just mainly just with work and all that. So I just couldn't really get around it too much. But my main focus here was to definitely just wrap up the everything wrong with series and just kind of just hold on to the stop motion. So I am gonna definitely get back into it again, hopefully starting next week. And yeah, the progress, it's really time consuming too for stop motion. So I'm also not trying to be in a rush as well. I'm trying to really make it come out as nice and smooth as possible, so you guys get the best kind of entertainment as well. So um, I can't say exactly when, but um, but yeah, once it's released, I'll just let you guys know and be like, here you guys go, surprise, and just go away.
Yeah, that's usually what happens with things like that. Let's see what we got here. Favorite show. Nice. Welcome, Mozilla, and welcome, DJ Carter. Let's favorite Godzilla film of the 21st century, like from 2014 to 2020, pretty much.
Well, I mean, yeah, in general so far, yeah, I'd say definitely King of the Monsters really topped off the other Godzilla movies because since we pretty much grew up with everything that we always wanted to see in an actual Godzilla movie, we finally got it. For hardcore fans out there that are really into Godzilla, King of the Monsters was definitely number one for those kind of fans because the Easter eggs, the references, everything that they threw inside that movie definitely had fans, bouncing off their seats. And if it's like a casual fan, I mean, they can somewhat still get the same kind of experience, recognizing some things and maybe newer things that they never noticed before. But, it's also one of those movies, the pacing, it's not really as bad as it was with 2014 Godzilla because you're just stuck with one character throughout the whole movie and it's kind of boring, but it does pay off every time you do see Godzilla. But this time around for King of the Monsters, yeah, they do a couple cutaways from time to time, but it does work out a lot more this time though, because it's more than just Godzilla. There's Mothra, Ghidorah, Rodan, and the other 17 Titans that are now rising. So it really worked out a lot. You're stuck with a lot more better actors that people can definitely recognize. Vera
Mhm.
Farmiga, all those OG actors and actresses. And just the pacing, like I said, the pacing's not too boring, it's not too slow, it's just right. I'd say it was definitely a little bit more better than Skull Island's pacing, but it was definitely on point. The only thing I'd say was just the downfall that I can actually kind of agree with is, just more of the human portion, but everything outside of that, it was definitely spot on.
Mm. Yeah, like for 2019, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Godzilla had either the same exact screen time or less screen time than he did in 2014. You know about that?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Did you know that like possibly Godzilla 2019 had more? I mean, no, not more, less, or just about the same screen time as 2014?
So I've seen a few videos that actually did nail down Godzilla's screen time. So he did have, I'd say just about, I believe it was about like 10 minutes of screen time, between 10 to 12. But I do remember in 2014, it was definitely no more than, yeah, I'd say, yeah, you know what, I'd say about nearly the same. But 20 or King of the Monsters definitely did have a lot more scenes showing Godzilla compared to 2014. So I'd say it's just about the same amount, just slightly more with King of the Monsters.
Yeah, pretty much. Because what they did is like they made the movie literally all about Godzilla. They used him at the right portion of the movie. First act, second act, third act. Instead of waiting for the second act to introduce the monster that's literally in the title of the movie. Instead, like a whole hour, like 20, 30 minutes instead. Anyways, Final Warriors in Anguirus. I mean, I think he means Anguirus. It's freaking amazing. It's not better than a show. Showa designs Anguirus, my favorite monster, except Godzilla. Nice. Bozo says the kaiju designs are absolutely awesome. Ghidorah especially. Good to know, man. Um, favorite Godzilla anime.
Is this for me or just reading the comments?
Oh yeah, it's for you. Oh yeah, it's for me to
So
you.
you said, oh, okay. So you said favorite anime Godzilla, like just one of the three films,
hmm
or
You can also include Shin-chan if you want.
no, I was just gonna say it was definitely the very first one that they introduced for the anime Godzilla. Then after that, they just started just messing around and making it worse and a lot more slow and boring after the first one. So I definitely say the first one was the strongest start out of the whole entire trilogy series. The other two, they didn't really get me too much.
I guess so. Yeah, the first one definitely is better. King Ghidorah's representation was actually it wasn't that bad, but still not the best. But
Yeah.
same case with Mecha G, unfortunately. Not like we've seen Godzilla destroy a city before. Let's see. Titanic Screwdriver says, I must go. I sense a disturbance. Oh, sorry about that, man. Let's see. Fan Flame says, mine is all of them. Godzilla Planet Earth is underrated. Oh. Okay, we can have our opinions here. Let's see. Worst Showa film in your opinion?
Oh, Godzilla's Revenge, easily.
Why do you not like that movie?
That kid was off of acid. You know, like how the hell do you randomly, get kidnapped by two actual kidnappers and still take the time to, hallucinate and dream about being on Monster Island talking to Manila? It was just too much. I was like, there's no way this is possible. And definitely the worst part about it too was the message that they were trying to really display. So the comparison towards the end, when the little kid is getting flashbacks with the fire extinguisher, kind of reminded him of the atomic breath. I was like, yeah, no, this is nothing. This is not the message here. And then literally the message, um, when they had the kid actually fighting back towards one of the bullies, it did not land the same way because he basically ended up being the bully himself by, making that one guy fall off that can of paint. I was like, oh yeah, he now he's the bully, and the end. It's like no, that's not how it works. That's not how we do that. But okay, I guess we're just gonna let that slide, and so we did.
Nice. All right. Yeah. My question is why wasn't I invited for the acid trip? I'm kidding. Let's see. Wozo says for both of you, what Godzilla figure do you want the most? Ace, you can go.
Honestly, it really doesn't matter to me. And really, because I have quite a lot of, just Godzilla figures, I do want to branch off more towards, other kaijus like, Ghidorah, Gigan, I'm just trying to have different varieties for the most part.
Ah, I see. For me, I don't really have anything specific, but it would be nice to either get Monsters Destroyer or King Ghidorah. I'm probably gonna get that for Christmas because today I did just cop a third more box set. Yes, I'm crazy. I copped the third more box set. Woohoo. Um, let's see. I still want to learn about the campaigns of the MonsterVerse. I don't know if somebody went in depth about that, but somebody probably did. For info, somebody probably did. Let's see. Oh yeah, worst Heisei film in your opinion? I'll take.
The worst one, let's see. Honestly, I couldn't really think. I don't think there actually was. It was just on point with the essay. I can't really think of anything bad. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the whole entire essay era, in my opinion. Honestly, I guess what I can actually say instead is the one that I didn't really enjoy. I guess as much was I guess maybe Godzilla versus let's see, King Ghidorah, 1991. I don't. I guess because they did try something new, using Mecha Ghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah. I thought that was pretty neat, but um, I don't know. It just didn't entertain me too much. I guess because the original Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, just was a lot more entertaining fight wise. So I think that's what it was too. It's just a lot more just atomic breath wars and not too much um action, outside of the atomic breath and all that stuff. But other than that, yeah, overall though, I thought they were all pretty good, for each of its own.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. Um, I don't mean I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Mecha King Ghidorah is a little bit misleading for me because it's not really the whole body. If anything, I probably would have called it Cyber Ghidorah. Not even gonna lie.
Right. Yeah,
Anyway,
that's actually what it was too. I was really trying to figure out what it was I was trying to put together. Yeah, that's what it was for me too. Like the whole fact that yeah, they tried to make a whole different version of King Ghidorah, but it wasn't exactly entirely King Ghidorah. It was just more of like almost an actual cyborg version of Mecha King Ghidorah. But I still did like, how it was used in that movie, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I did also, man. Um, oh, welcome, Pacific OG. Heisei, it's Heisei. Yeah, I know, Heisei. Pop Gojira says, "Do you have high expectations for Godzilla singular points for both of you?" Um, I'll say I don't want to get my hopes too high because of how the last anime went. I kind of lowered my expectations, but I do expect I expect a little I expect better from this one than the Monster Planet trilogy. Maybe some redemption. How about you?
Yeah, I can definitely agree on that.
Let's see. What do you want to see in Godzilla singular points?
Um, I just want to just basically to see the kaiju's. I just want to see what has changed after all this time, especially with Gabra, especially Gabra, and I guess Titanosaurus, those two. But yeah, just overall, I just want to see, what new take they got on them, and just hopefully they just use it, you know, at the right times and all that, and not make it another waste of potential on any of the kaiju's.
Hmm. Let's see. Oh wow, we're getting hella people in here now. Okay. Green Kylie says, "I love Godzilla vs King Ghidorah 1991." Kaiju Network. Oh, yo, Kaiju Network. It's been a minute. Gapes. He says, "Hey, Gapester, this is a nice guest appearance to have official Godzilla React channel here." Haha. Yeah, I guess so. Shadow says, "Bruh, I just realized it'll take me 45 days to save Monstars." Well, save your money and you can get that. And Friend Flames asked both of us, "What are your expectations for Godzilla vs Kong and who wins the battle?"
My expectations is none of that team up bullshit for sure. Because then what's the whole point of us debating if we know they're gonna team up? That's because it's just dumb to me. And you know, like I said, opinions are opinions. So as long as you can actually back it up and it sounds reasonable, so be it. I don't care who you go for. Um, I can see Kong definitely putting up a good fight with Godzilla, but deep down, at the end of the day, Godzilla's still gonna win because a Kong just overruling a tiny island compared to Godzilla ruling the whole world. I can't see it just getting thrown away and being passed up to an ape.
Let's see. That makes sense. Um, for me, okay, I'm not gonna talk about the team up because it's already confirmed that that's not happening. So no Batman v Superman shit happening there. Um,
Nope.
I do. Yep, I do expect a good fight though, and I heard rumors about Mecha Godzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah. I don't mind those two being in the movie, but just don't interrupt the fight. Maybe have a separate fight with Godzilla vs Mecha Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla versus Kong, but just let the two duke it out. No third monster interruption. No team up. No nothing. Just let the two
I
bump
can help
like
you
the
out with
title.
that.
You can help me out.
So that's another point I can actually debunk. So a lot of people really heavily believe that we're going to be seeing a Mecha King Ghidorah, Destroyer, or Mecha Godzilla, just random kaiju's that are not mentioned at all. What I can actually tell you though is the only one that's actually confirmed in the movie as of just right now is just Mecha Godzilla. Um, but Mecha Godzilla actually does have a small role in this movie, so he's not going to appear too much, but it will be nice for the fans to like just point out and notice. He also does show up in the final fight, but it's still heavily fair between all three of them. There's no team up in between them. And as for Destroya, I don't know where that came from. There's no confirmation. Like, yes, there's a possibility that he can return though because of what happened in King of the Monsters with that Oxygen Destroyer. But with King Ghidorah, he's definitely not in this movie. Or I could say what Mecha King Ghidorah. He's definitely not in there. They only have the rights so far to just Kong, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. So even with those four that I just mentioned, you could possibly see them as more of like cameos, kind of like how they brought up Kong. You might see some stock footage of like Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, whoever. It could go down like that too. That would be nice. But for the most part, um, the villain and everything, there's really no kaiju villain at all. It's just more heavily between Godzilla and Kong. They do see each other as more of a threat
Hmm, I see.
towards one
One.
hand, as I can go with that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a fair fight.
Yes, there's no other options. That's actually good. But if they wanted to have make a King Ghidorah in it, I would say not during the movie. Like maybe as a post credit scene to tease the next movie or something. That could be the Destroy All Monsters thing. But just stick with the title. Let the two bump. Anyway.
Right.
hmm Let's see. I have a theory that's nice. Titanosaurus not Godzilla's singular point. Well, I don't know. Is he? Friend Flame says Kong's battle axe. I think he's asking our opinions about Kong's battle axe. Damn, I said ass.
Battle ass.
Hell no.
So my opinion on that is, I mean, if it's pretty obvious that it came from one of Godzilla's dorsal fins, then that's going to be so exciting and terrifying to see how he manages to pull that off, making it become a weapon out of that. And the other half is, you know, basically, if he's using a battle axe, then what the hell does he really need lightning for? As I know a lot of people really believe that lightning powers might be involved in this. I don't think that's the case. I mean, he didn't really use any when it came to the skull crawlers, so I don't know why he would need it anytime now if he has the battle axe right there as another defending weapon if it gets too hectic for Kong himself. But I can see Kong using that battle axe definitely during the final fight, so he could pull that out, as a last minute resolution before, things get worse. But other than that, yeah, I am pretty pumped to see how Kong can use that towards Godzilla and just see what kind of damage he can get out of that.
Same man. Honestly though, um, with that battle axe, like if he does use that with the lightning powers, we'll pretty much just be getting a monster versus version of a kaiju Thor. If you think about it, which would
Right.
be pretty cool, but at the same time, just come on, just stick naturally. But at the same time,
Right.
it would give Kong some powers because after all, Godzilla's beam is pretty OP also, so that could be a little boost for Kong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say too, some people actually did say that he can actually use the battle axe to actually defend himself against the atomic breath. I can actually see that working out too. That would actually be pretty neat to see how he even deals with that. But um, yeah, so they did say, it's not exactly a remake. This is definitely a rematch. So you might notice, some references from the last, 1962 movie, but don't expect it to like be entirely the same way that it was laid out in the original film. It's a whole new different, era, a whole new different rematch and a whole different environment. So fresh new start with this whole entire fight and to just see how who is really determined to win in this fight here. This movie itself is the goal of this movie here is to really just end this debate once and for all. And either way, though, what I can say, I can actually agree with this too. It really doesn't matter who wins, anyways, because at the end of the day, one side of the fanboys is gonna have a war with the other side. So some people might be like, "Oh, well, that's bullshit." Now that Kong lost, but he won in the first one. I don't understand. Versus, there's going to be different opinions, but yeah, that's as far as that goes.
Let's see. Um, Pop Culture says, "Do you think the battle will take place in Hong Kong?" That
It
wouldn't be too
definitely
bad.
is.
That would be better of an idea actually. I mean, when was the last time we seen Godzilla in Hong Kong? I think the last time we saw him in Hong Kong was Godzilla vs Destroyer when he was destroying the city at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the fights, the first one's going to be on Skull Island, the second one's going to be on the ship, and the last one's going to be on Hong Kong. So three different rounds.
Nice. First act, second act, third act. That makes sense. Um, Friend Flame says, "What about the other Titans under Godzilla's command?" Um, honestly, it would be cool to see them, but I don't want them to interrupt the fight too much like that, because it is Godzilla vs Kong. We don't need a full-on like civil war between Kong's friends and Godzilla's friends. If anything, Rodan will just probably degrade Kong like he did with Ghidorah, because Rodan does want to take place as the king, so he's obviously going to take the weaker side and make him stronger, fight Godzilla, and then once he's dead, Rodan would probably try to fight Kong and then become King of Monsters. That's how I would be if I was Rodan. But what's your opinion about that? About the other Titans under Godzilla's command?
Like, I'm sorry, like, kind of like rephrase it for me. Like, you said, like, under like Godzilla's command. Like, what do you guys mean by that?
I don't know exactly what he means either. He just says, "What about the other Titans under Godzilla's command?" I think he's talking about those. I think he's talking about the Queen Muto, Rodan, that Spider Monster, Behemoth, that turtle, whatever.
Okay. So you're asking basically like, what about like, the kaijus that are like now under Godzilla's control, like what about them? Or
I mean, that's what his comment says. So I guess, what do you know? I don't know how to respond to it exactly.
yeah, I don't know either. I'm sorry.
Hey, maybe reword it and we'll answer. How about that, friend Flame? Green Kaiju is making a King Kong fan film. Congrats, man. Congrats. Ben Entertainment Kaiju Production says, "Yo, Jem was being racist." Hey, let's not talk about that here, please, Ben. It's nice to have you here, but let's just not talk about that. This is Dante's interview, not James' drama stuff. Anyway, Pop Gojira says, "Where's the weed?" Okay, let's not have any drugs in here now. No drugs. Anyways, since we got far off topic, the Godzilla vs Kong, which I intended to get into later, but I had to answer the questions. So, back to the basics. Worst Millennium Godzilla film.
Godzilla versus Megaguirus. It was just too boring for me to watch. I can't. It's the only Godzilla movie where I cannot actually be entirely focused. It's like there's too much of human characters involved with it, and the fight. It does make up a lot towards the end. There's a lot of screen time between those two, but prior to all of that, though, it is just so boring. Like, even when I started doing the everything wrong with Godzilla versus Megaguirus, I already knew it was not going to be that fun to watch. And, it was really hard to, like, pay attention to, but I did it for the last time. So anytime, like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, there's no other Godzilla movies, that I can, like, choose for. I might actually watch it at least at that time. But other than that, there's like, other available Godzilla films for me. I'm going to definitely skip that one over any time of the day.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch that movie. Like, it's pretty much a watch once. Like, you don't need to see it once. You don't need to see it again. You know what happens. That's all you need to know. It's pretty much one of those movies.
Yeah, it's not one of those thrilling, exciting kind of movies. Like, don't get me wrong. The only time I actually enjoyed the part of this movie was when when Megaguirus was first like slowly like starting to like come out, killing off humans like that, like when he did that sneak attack on that one guy that was smoking a cigarette. I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, ooh, that's pretty gruesome, but I like that. So that part got me at least. But the ending, with them wiping off Godzilla off the radar and making him go through a black hole and everything, I was like, well, don't get too excited. I mean, I hope you guys realize a black hole ain't going to stop Godzilla, and then bam, reboot.
And then there's no sequel to tell what happens.
No, but, that was the most bothering conclusion about the movie, too. You don't know exactly what happened after that. Like, okay, did he come back, or like, did he die, or like, what happened? You're just stuck.
Exactly. Another thing to point out real quick, Megaguirus is actually a sheep.
But anyway, real quick, I can stick around for about another 10 minutes. I have to head out here soon.
Oh, 10 minutes? Oh, shoot. Okay, all right, let's start speeding this up. Okay. What? Okay, Pop Gojira says, "I can't really finish Terror of Mechagodzilla." Why can't you finish it, man? Worst Godzilla film of, this decade?
Like as of right now?
Yeah, 2014 till 2020.
None. They're all solid.
Including the animes?
Oh well, we already kind of answered that. Well, no, you just asked me what was my
True.
favorite movie, but I mean that was the only thing I just didn't like was just the anime. But I mean, outside of that, though, everything else is pretty solid, pretty satisfying.
I guess so. Shadow says, Gapes, will you stream after he leaves? I don't know, maybe. If Dynamoose wants to get his interview tonight, then probably. Godzilla 60 says, I cannot finish Godzilla anime series. It just feels boring. Yeah, it is pretty boring, unfortunately. Um, favorite Showa Godzilla design?
Shit. Well, I honestly I wasn't really too picky with it. I just liked the design overall. I just throughout every movie, so it just yeah, it never really bothered me or nothing. I just enjoyed it all.
What about Heisei era? Favorite
Definitely the
Heisei
Return of
design?
Godzilla's. Definitely Return of Godzilla's and Burning Godzilla.
Ah, okay. Um, favorite Showa Kaiju design?
Like between like all the kaiju monsters and like their
Yeah,
designs.
yeah, all
Um,
kaiju, all the Showa Kaiju besides Godzilla.
honestly, they were all great. I can't really say who specifically. They were all good for its time.
Alrighty. Worst Showa monster design, which probably doesn't have an answer.
Gabra.
Ah, of course, Gabra. He kind of look like a monster, like a very ugly monster, to be honest. Let's see. Worst Heisei Godzilla design.
Um, can't say specifically. Yeah, nothing wrong with them. I think they were actually a lot more better.
Ah, okay, not bad. Favorite Heisei monster design besides Godzilla.
Ooh, Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla for sure. Yeah, Space Godzilla was really cool having that kind of take, you know, and Godzilla is coming from space. I thought it was pretty neat, and it actually did work. It actually did work out too with how they made it work throughout the whole movie. You know, it was like some weird kind of logic, but I mean, it was still pretty cool to get a taste of what a Space Godzilla could look like, and I thought it was pretty neat how they did that.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I see that. Mhm. Yeah, after all, it is Godzilla, it's just from outer space as an alien.
Yeah, and those crystals too. Like, yeah, it was badass.
Hell yes. Pop Gojira says, when do you think we might get a new Gamma movie? Honestly, I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. I'm not a Gamera fan. I I never really watched the movies like that, so I can't say.
Honestly, either whenever that company wants to make one, or possibly get him into the MonsterVerse somehow. I don't know, honestly.
He was
Shao
actually in
says,
the
"Can I have it?"
MonsterVerse for the concept art for
Yeah,
King of the Monsters, but the only problem was that
I
with
know.
all the money that they had budgeting every licensed Toho monster, it was way too much for them to afford. So they had to unfortunately wipe them all off and just actually make original Titans. So those are the actual tie-ins that we got instead. So originally it was supposed to be like more Toho monsters, but they just couldn't afford it all. So they at least had up to Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, which is a pretty cool, interesting thing about that.
I heard the only device to anger is because they had that anger skeleton in it.
Yeah, yeah, even the director himself too. He did point that out. Yeah, he said there's a scene where the thing's blowing up. If you pause at the right time, you will see it. And I even seen it in the bonus features for the Blu-ray edition of King of the Monsters, and yeah, it was really nice seeing that. So who knows? He can pop back up again, or he might actually be dead. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Shao says, "Can I have an interview?" Maybe we'll talk about that another time. Let's see. What is your friend Flame asked? What is your favorite MonsterVerse design?
With other times, or
Um, what exactly do you mean? Like, do you mean by Godzilla or Monster in general, Friend Flame? I guess we'll get back to you on that, Friend Flame. Welcome, Pacific Zilla. Gamma is owned by Kadokawa. Thanks for letting me know. Shadow says, I'm a Hedo. Alright, see you, man. Stickzilla says, hey, welcome, Stickzilla. Friend Flame says, yeah, the other Titans. So I guess what's your favorite Titan of the Monsterverse besides Godzilla? Dante?
oh, okay, I thought my thing cut out. What was the question again?
The question is, what's your favorite Monsterverse Titan besides Godzilla?
Oh, there's quite plenty. Pretty much, literally, like anybody outside of God, like anybody other than Godzilla. Like all the designs are really cool, especially the more unique ones. Like Scylla or Scylla, which however you pronounce it, Behemoth. You know, it was really cool what they did. You know, a spider being mixed with an octopus, like that's so disgusting, but it's so cool. And then like Behemoth, he's like a mammoth, and then there's also like that sloth inside of him too. And then he's also a mammal. It was like I was just like, what the hell? I don't know how they make this shit work, but this is really cool. So, yeah, honestly, just all of them. I like all the designs so far. I can't wait to see the rest. And Godzilla versus Kong now.
Same, man. Especially that bat monster thing. Let's see here. Worst Millennium Monster design.
Millennium. Let's see. Um, I'd probably say the Smog Monster, Smog Monster in Final Wars, just because I was like, oh, ew, you're back, and then he's just dead anyways. So yeah, probably just Smog Monster from Final Wars.
Yes. Turns out there was supposed to be a fight between them. It's even in the credit scene. And the people that filmed it were hella mad because they didn't make the final cut. And it took so much time to film.
I can tell. Yeah, I was like, something told me that there had to be more than just that little brief cameo, but it was still nice to see them either way showing up in the movie.
Indeed. All right. I guess let's move to figures. What is your most favorite figure in your collection right now?
I do like Shin Godzilla, Burning Godzilla, Rodan, and where's the other one? Oh, and Godzilla 2003.
2003. Nice. At the Monster, it's one the reissue.
I can answer like three more questions and then I gotta get going. Yeah.
Oh, can we maybe do a part two because there's like I intend more questions from before, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So you think three more is good then for this part one?
You know what? Yeah, I'll rename this to part one, and yeah, we'll ask 3 more questions. So anybody have any questions for him?
Yeah, just any random three. I don't even care what it is.
Let's see. All right. Favorite King Kong movie?
Skull Island, honestly.
Why do you like Skull Island?
Because that was the very first Kong movie that I actually was interested in. I either didn't care too much for the other Kong movies, or I just didn't know too much about him for its time. So I was more excited to see what this different Kong can do since he's going up against legendary Godzilla. So I liked how they literally made him not simp for a blonde woman for whatever reason. And, he's actually just doing his job, being the king of Skull Island. So it was pretty cool.
All right, nice. Okay, there's only like 3 more questions. If you can answer those from the comment section.
Okay.
All right. When did the stream start? It started 44 minutes ago, but this will be split into part 2 because Dante's got to go. Brad Flame says, would you still like Godzilla if his role was switched with Kong?
Like if his war was switched with Kong's, you said?
if his
Um,
role, if it's
Honestly, I just want to know how to feel about it. I'd be like, okay, well, I guess that works. I'd just be more iffy about it, but like, okay, just whatever works then.
nice. Um, favorite Rodan design.
Definitely the new one from King of the Monsters. They did my boy Rodan a lot more justice than this one.
Mm, definitely. All right, this is my last question, and we'll just continue this into part two whenever you want to do that. Um,
Okay.
when do you think the Godzilla versus Kong trailer is coming?
Before this year's over with, easily.
Hopefully. All right. Oh, okay. Last final question from Friend Flame. Do you think Godzilla will end?
No, because Toho has a couple more movies planned out.
Especially with the anime. Alrighty, guys. Sorry to cut this short. There will be a part two to this. I don't know when, but there will definitely be a part two. So, if you got more questions for Dante, think about them and get ready to ask them for whenever part two comes. So, do you have anything you want to say, Dante, before you go?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, thank you for having me on board and everybody else that took the time to come through and watch this. I was gonna say I could probably do the interview, even before it probably hits Monday. So maybe even
All right.
tomorrow or Sunday, one of those.
Tomorrow
I'll
sounds like
just
a
let
good
you know
idea.
once
Yeah.
I'm free. Yeah, I'll just see you just whenever I'm free again, like actually not doing anything. Yeah, because this just came up so unexpected. So I was just like, oh shit, okay, I just gotta go then. So yeah, didn't mean to make it
I
in so
see.
short.
I see. It's all right. It's all right. Sometimes things just come in. Like if you really gotta go, like you gotta go. I'm off all week
Yep,
next
that's
week from
life.
school, so I pretty much I got all the time. I got all the time I need.
Okay.
But all right. But alrighty, guys. Everybody. Thanks for watching the stream. Part two will be coming soon. Subscribe to Dante Dotson. Check out his Final Words video of everything that's wrong with it. Subscribe to me. Leave a like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Yes, we will announce it on our social media accounts. Bye, everybody.